Just because you think something does not mean you have to go and write a book about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Pulisic is a victim of this generation's I need to talk about it because it's on my mind. He has openly come out and blasted Thomas Tuchel in a book, and a book that was going to get released regardless if Thomas Tuchel was fired or not. So can you imagine? Thomas Tuchel, his boss, would have read a book where Christian Pulisic badmouths him to the nth degree for the world to read. Oh yeah, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, Chelsea once again want to ruin his development by recalling him in January. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys. And a lot of people, especially my US viewers, are not gonna like this video. They're going to say, Alex, you're picking on Pulisic. And I'm gonna tell you now, before the video even starts, this is not anti-Pulisic. If anything, I want the best for Pulisic. Pulisic being good means Chelsea have got a great player on their hands. So what I'm saying now could be player X, player Y, player W. It does not need to be specifically for Christian Pulisic. And when we break this down, I'm going to explain to you why I think this book was wrong, why I think he should have never released this book until he retired. And more importantly, what has he got to gain from this? Like, realistically speaking, what has he got to gain from this? These quotes are mind-boggling. We're going to talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi and how Potter's a massive fan of him. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 1,000 likes. Let's move on with this video. Alright, so I know a lot of you have no idea what's going on. So basically, Christian Pulisic is a star. US men's national team superstar, right? America don't usually produce fantastic football players, soccer players as they call it. And one of the reasons being is because the sport wasn't massive in that country. They primarily focused on American football, basketball, and baseball. So now, as time goes on, as the games become more and more popular, they're starting to develop great talents. Like, don't get me wrong, Clint Dempsey was a great player, Landon Donovan, very good player. None of them were as good and talented as Christian Pulisic. And that's the harsh reality of it. So it's understandable when the US men's national team fans back their guy. He is, as they call, the LeBron James of soccer. For them, that's what he is, and we cannot laugh at that. As stupid as that sounds, right? They love him, and they will always protect him, and I respect that. But what Pulisic has done, in my opinion, is extremely disrespectful. And people are going to say, how is it disrespect? Well, let's talk about this. Thomas Tuchel is his employer. Pulisic writes a book, and in this book, he's releasing, which was going to be released regardless if Thomas Tuchel was sacked or not. Let that know, because this book was written well before a couple of weeks ago. Books are written well in advance. This is how publishers work. They release a snippet, and this snippet is very interesting. He said he was dumbfounded and felt very upset with Thomas Tuchel because Thomas Tuchel basically betrayed him. Thomas Tuchel selected Kai Havertz for the second leg of the Champions League after Tuchel came on, Pulisic came on, scored the goal, and then Tuchel told him he was going to rest him. And once he rested him, he was going to play him against Real Madrid. Closer to the game, Tuchel changes his mind, Pulisic comes on, gets the assist, Mount's goal. He said it was his favorite assist of all time. He's never felt that way before. And you know what? That was a great moment in his career. That was a moment that US men's national team fans and Chelsea fans are religiously talking about Thomas Tuchel and Christian Pulisic thriving together in that moment. How Pulisic needs to be that individual. Yet, this is where things get really funny. I'm going to ask the question, why? Pulisic, why are you releasing a book at the age of 24? I understand his popularity is massive, right? He basically has the whole North American continent loving this man. After him, maybe it's Davies from, what's his name, Bayern Munich. Maybe he's the biggest star. But why on earth is Christian Pulisic releasing the book now? You're 24. You need to be focusing on your football. This is part one. I guarantee you there'll be other books coming out. I understand he's had a great, interesting journey and he wants to share it because he's been playing for Dortmund since the age of 17 and now Chelsea, and these are two massive clubs. But what did he have to win? When you retire at the age of 35, 36, or if you're lucky enough to play till 40, you've got another 40 to 60 years of life to be releasing books, to be talking about stuff with a perspective of maturity. These comments are nothing but damaging to Christian Pulisic because the next club that signs him is going to be asking, are we signing a problem mate? Are we signing an individual that the minute things go wrong, writes a book and leaks what went wrong? And in this case, what did Tuchel do wrong? He played him in the first leg, Pulisic scored. Second leg, he said, I'm going to rest you. We played Fulham, and then he said, you know what? I think I'm going to go with Kai Havertz. That's his prerogative. He's the manager. He's allowed to rotate. Look, at the end of the day, we're getting Pulisic's side of the story. We don't know if Tuchel promised him he was going to start. And at the end of the day, he's a big boy. He can deal with it. I think this is very bad. And this is where I think all this is coming from. The people closest to him, in my opinion, are evidently giving him bad advice. Because he's a 24-year-old man, right? All he wants to do is play football. There is no way he woke up one day and said, you know what? I want to write a book. This is all from his camp. His father's always liking tweets, like he's a teenager. He's always sending subliminals. He's always got some sort of Barbie tendencies. And it's not nice. It's not nice. Like, what are you doing? You're meant to be the role model for your son. And what is not nice is now Pulisic is getting painted in a light that is very negative, when most probably he's just a guy that wants to play football for a team. I think these are negative comments. I think it puts Pulisic in a terrible, terrible light. And I don't think Graham Potter's going to like it. Because, like I said, what's next? Are you going to ask to leave? Pulisic's days at Chelsea are numbered. Bookmark this video. Come back to this video. Pulisic will be gone from Chelsea either after the World Cup in January or he'll be gone in the summer. Chelsea will not tolerate this sort of behavior. He is not good enough of a player to tolerate it. People are going to say Mbappe has a book. I don't know why Mbappe has a book. I was fuming when Griezmann released a documentary. What are you releasing a documentary for? You're still playing. Yes, you won a World Cup. I understand that. You can release all this when you retire. People, sometimes it's good to wait. We got the Anelka documentary, banging. We got it after he retired. Vigo documentary, banging after he retired. There are so many documentaries that after people retire are so much better. Pulisic shouldn't have released this now. This has just created problems for him and a divide between him and the fan base once again. And now Chelsea want to go and act in a way that Chelsea only want to act. So the reality is Callum Hudson-Odoi is on loan at Bayer Leverkusen and he's had a semi-decent start. We won't say fantastic start, we won't even say a great start. He's had a good start, a decent start, to the point where he's got 1 assist, he's had a few cute key passes that led to a Champions League win against Atletico Madrid, which is massive when you're Bayer Leverkusen, by the way. The performance was amazing, and the all-round essence of him getting regular football and the way the sporting director and the manager speak about him, magnifique. Wonderful. Yet now Chelsea want to recall him because there's been a little clause included in his contract that they can recall him in January. I pray this does not happen. What Callum needs is regular minutes. He needs to play nearly 2,500 minutes in the Bundesliga this year. He needs to start regular first team football. He needs to be the main man and he needs to develop his game. Bringing him back and asking him to play wing back is not the solution for his development. He will be a phenomenal 10. A twin 10 into Potter's system. Yet, I have a feeling Chelsea will act on it. Reports from ESPN and Bild are reporting that Chelsea are interested in bringing him back. They want to bring him back because Potter really liked him at Brighton and wanted to sign him. I'm going to say one thing. Potter's fishing pond for players is completely different at Brighton than it is at Chelsea. Why would he go and bring Callum Hudson-Odoi back and depend on Callum Hudson-Odoi to give him results when in reality he has Raheem Sterling, when he already has a Kai Havertz, when he's already got players he needs to work with? Let Callum Hudson-Odoi develop next season. Bring him in, evaluate him in pre-season. You think he's worthy? Keep him in, use him. I'm all for it. I think he's super talented. But I do not want to see Callum rotting on the bench. It's not good for Callum, it's not good for Chelsea, and it's just not fair on players in general. This kid wants to play football. He's 21, 22 years old. This is very similar, in my opinion, to the one and only Christian Pulisic. A lot of you are going to see similarities in this. Callum has hardly played. He wants to play. Pulisic has hardly played. He wants to play. We need to stop hoarding talent. We need to start selecting talent. Firstly, using them, developing them. Doesn't mean keep 15 wingers on the book. We don't need 15 wingers on the book. Why Chelsea needed 7 players for 3 positions bemusels me when you have a youth system. Stop it. Enough is enough. Let Callum develop. This was the Kavkas View. I hope you lot enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, share this video, share your favorite parts of the clips. In a bit, bye-bye.